So, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I didn't think that I was going to be saying anything about this, like, at all. I didn't think I was going to be writing about it. I didn't think I was going to be making a video about it. I pretty much told myself I was going to take at least a year-long moratorium on this game. And there's lots of reasons for that. And it was largely because I didn't want to get caught up in sort of the reactionary response that comes with the release of a AAA title and then sort of one that garners a lot of sort of critical and even just emotional response. We'll talk about that in a minute. So this mission I like because I sort of like the setup. I like that it's a little bit different for a sneaking mission. The scenario writer on this one is Etsu Tamari. Etsu Tamari is the writer for Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which is a game that I greatly enjoy, enough so that I'm writing a book about it. We are in the editing phase. It will be out hopefully before the end of the year. There's his name. I like that the game shows off sort of who did what a lot, particularly with writers, also with level designers. I love that they show them off because while we might want to think of this game as sort of solely a byproduct of the mind of Hideo Kojima, it's also something that a lot of other people worked on. And so, like, for example, another name that you'll see in credits a lot is Shiyu Murata. And he started on the series with Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm pretty sure he wrote In the Darkness of Shadow Moses, and then started doing codex scripts and things like that. Tamari, also does some codex scripts along with a couple other folks. So it's really great because I think a lot of times when people approach Metal Gear, they approach it solely through the lens of auteur theory, which makes sense because I think that these games feel like you definitely feel the idiosyncratic touches of Hideo Kojima in these games. But auteur theory only gets us so far, and a lot of times people apply it to individuals who I don't think qualify, or at least who don't have enough traceable quirks and sensibilities that the moniker matters. People sort of use it as this catch-all term to mean director or writer when it sort of is something a little bit more than that. I think I saw somebody one time call Shinji Mikami an auteur, and he's just a famous dude who makes pretty good games. Some of them are great. Friggin' Resident Evil 4 and Vanquish, they're like some of my favorite games. But he's not like Kojima, he's not like, Swery65. There aren't as many sort of traceable qualities. With The Phantom Pain, we understand that this is a Kojima game, a Hideo Kojima production, but we also sort of see a lot more of the other people who are working on it, and we see them sort of grab the franchise and move forward. Here's something really fun. CQC! They spot me. I know they're going to spot me, but I'm close enough that I can chain these two CQC throws, and it's great. I lose my no reflex, no detection bonus for this mission, but that's cool too because this game is really sort of loose about what it judges you on for getting your letter ranks and your code names and things like that, which means that the game is a lot freer. One of my major issues with Ground Zeroes, which, let's be clear here, I do not like Ground Zeroes, which is funny because I really like Phantom Pain. Also, sniping, because it's the best. But I can snipe, and it won't affect my rating, which is great. I'm not going to get a no-kill bonus or anything, but I can still sort of complete this mission, and the game doesn't judge me too much. One of the reasons I do not like Ground Zeroes, outside of narrative missteps and other things, also, I think Dee Dee just knocked that walker gear off to the side. Maybe I did, I don't know. But one of the reasons I didn't like Ground Zeroes so much is because I don't think that the setting particularly reinforced the changes in mechanics, modes of interaction that you could have with the space. Camp Omega was not an interesting place to be in, and you could not do interesting things. And while I'm not really saying that, I'm not doing the Sid Meier thing where it's like, oh, games are a series of interesting choices. I do think that the open world setting of Phantom Pain allows a lot more freedom of expression on the part of the player that you just don't have in Ground Zeroes, which makes it somewhat more inherently interesting if we're sort of examining the ludus, right? That's a little bit of a mess up there. I don't get the headshot. Not a big deal. I'm still going to get a wolf rank for this. Well, spoiler alert, I'm going to get an S rank, but I'm also going to get the wolf rank because I sniped most of it. And the cool thing here, too, is it's like, I'm getting those headshots and I'm getting those body shots because I sent out my soldiers to do supply raids to get rid of body armor and get rid of helmets and all sorts of stuff. This mission I like because it's on the open sand and you sort of have a time limit to rescue this prisoner who sort of escaped. And seeing the walker gears on the sand sort of tromping along and trying to figure out how to deal with them, particularly if you're not also engaging them with your own walker gear. And that's an option, too. You can just sort of run in, guns blazing, and blow the shit out of everybody. And that's totally fine, and it plays well. But I like sort of having these enemies in these walkers and sort of having to deal with them. The only reason I bring DD along is that I don't want to spend too much time scanning the horizon so that I can just sort of run towards where the prisoner is. I could probably have Quiet along and she could help me snipe, but that's boring. I would rather do it myself. And then we give them the Fulton and we pull them up, and the mission is like, it's super quick and super easy, but I really enjoy it. There's something about the visuals of this set piece that I really enjoy. This scenario, if you will. Phantom Pain. What do I want to say about it? Narratively sort of weak. Ironically, thematically fairly strong. Enough so that I sort of had to go back and take quotes from this to put in my Metal Gear Rising book and how it relates to the larger sort of meta-narrative of the series. It does a very interesting thing with its ending, which I cannot discuss, but it's something worth commentary, and I would love to come back to it in a more critical fashion once I've engaged with the text a little bit more. And this is true for any title. This isn't just something for Metal Gear, but I think engagement with a title, if you really want to be critical, take the time and sort of keep in contact with it, right? And that'll sort of help you along. For now, this is it. This is all I sort of wanted to do. It's like, here's a mission, here's some thoughts. I really enjoy it. I like that I even had that moment of sort of waiting for the helicopter to come at the end. This game has a lot of action and then like silence. It's very contemplative, and that's sort of a change of pace from something like Metal Gear Solid 2 or Metal Gear Solid 4, which was all about, content and like the narrative was real heavy. So here's my rank. It's like I told you, S rank, Wolf, good stuff. Love it.